Divorce!
What? This is a baby shower.
No, it's a divorce shower.
You're ridiculous.
7 months pregnant wife stands surrounded by pink and blue balloons, laughing through happy tears at her baby shower, only for her husband to wait until the last guest leaves, pull out divorce papers, and say, "I'm done with you and this baby. You're nothing but a burden." He walks out, leaving her shattered on the floor, completely unaware that the woman he just discarded secretly owns the billion-dollar company his parents have been lording over everyone for years. Her name is Elena. 28 years old, soft-spoken, always smiling even when people treat her like dirt. To the world, she's just a struggling housewife married to Mark, a salesman with big dreams and an even bigger ego. They live in a tiny apartment, barely making rent, because Elena chose to hide who she really is. Years ago, her grandfather left her 60% of global tech innovations, a tech empire worth billions, but Elena wanted real love, not gold diggers. So she kept quiet, worked odd jobs, cooked Mark's favorite meals, ironed his shirts, and loved him with every piece of her heart. They met 5 years earlier at a quiet coffee shop. Mark flashed that charming smile, brought her flowers on the first date, promised her the world. They eloped within months. Elena thought she had found her forever. She never told him about the inheritance, never touched the money, because she wanted him to love the simple girl, not the heiress. Now, heavily pregnant after years of heartbreaking miscarriages, Elena pours everything into preparing for their daughter. She organizes the baby shower herself, handmade decorations, homemade cake, inviting Mark's parents even though they never miss a chance to sneer at her. Richard and Victoria arrive in designer clothes, looking around the cramped apartment with thinly veiled disgust. Still living like this? Victoria mutters. Elena just smiles, offers them tea, tries harder to be accepted. The party is beautiful. Friends coo over tiny clothes, play silly games, take photos of Elena's radiant bump. Mark stands beside her, arm around her waist, kissing her temple for the cameras. Everyone thinks they're the perfect couple. When the last guest leaves, Elena starts tidying up, humming to the baby. That's when Mark's face changes. Cold. Empty. He hands her the envelope. Sign these. I want a divorce. Elena's heart stops. She begs him to talk, asks what she did wrong. Mark laughs bitterly. You're poor, Elena. You dragged me down. This baby? Another anchor. My parents were right. You're not good enough for me. Tears stream down her face as she clutches her belly. We're a family, Mark. I love you. He shrugs. Love doesn't pay for the life I deserve. That night, alone, Elena finds the messages on his phone before he deletes them. Sophia, his glamorous co-worker. Months of secret meetups, photos, plans for a future without her. Text from his mother. Sophia is perfect for you. Get rid of that girl before the baby traps you forever. Elena's world collapses. The man she gave everything to plan this betrayal with his own parents. She signs the papers the next day. No fight, no demands. Just quiet tears as she packs one bag and leaves the apartment key on the table. Mark smirks when she hands the papers back. Finally, you understand your place. His parents throw a celebration dinner that same week, toasting to freedom from that leech. Elena checks into a cheap motel, counting pennies for the room. She rubs her belly through the kicks, whispering, "It's just you and me now, little one. I'll protect you." Friends slowly stop calling. Mark spread lies that she was unstable, that the pregnancy made her crazy. She takes a job waitressing at a diner, hiding her growing bump under oversized aprons, smiling through morning sickness and aching feet. Nights are the worst. Alone in the motel, she remembers every sacrifice, staying up nursing him through fevers, saving for months to surprise him with concert tickets, forgiving every harsh word because she believed love meant patience. Now all she feels is the sting of betrayal. Mark, meanwhile, moves in with Sophia. They post pictures of fancy dinners, new clothes, vacations funded by his parents. Richard promises him a big promotion at Global Tech Innovations, bragging about pulling strings. They laugh about how they dodged a bullet, but Elena hasn't touched her wealth yet. Late at night, when the baby finally lets her sleep, she opens her laptop for the first time in years. Logs into the private portal only she can access, reads quarterly reports. And there it is, evidence. Richard has been siphoning millions from the company for years. Fake contracts, inflated expenses, secret accounts. Victoria's signature on half of them. Elena's hand trembles on the mouse. Revenge flickers in her mind, then guilt. She wanted love, not war. But then she feels another kick, remembers Mark's cold words, the way he looked at her like trash. She thinks of a life her daughter deserves. Something shifts inside her. She goes into labor early, alone, calls a cab to the public hospital, grips the railing through contractions, refuses to call anyone. When her daughter is born, tiny and perfect, Elena holds her close and cries, for the pain, for the joy, for the future they'll build without him. She names her Lily, after the grandmother who left her the empire. Cradling Lily against her chest, Elena makes the call she's avoided for years. Her voice steady for the first time in months. This is Elena Thompson, majority shareholder. Schedule an emergency board meeting. It's time. The boardroom falls dead, silent the day Elena walks in. No one recognizes the elegantly dressed woman in the power suit until she takes the head seat and slides her credentials across the table. Gasps ripple around the room. Elena Thompson, controlling shareholder. Richard's face drains of color. Victoria clutches her pearls. Mark, invited as a mid-level employee, freezes in the doorway. Elena doesn't raise her voice. She simply presents the evidence. Years of embezzlement, forged documents, offshore accounts. Every transaction traced. Richard and Victoria, you're terminated effective immediately. Criminal charges will follow unless you repay every cent. Richard stammers about family loyalty. Elena's eyes are steel. You taught your son to discard a pregnant wife. Loyalty means nothing to you. Mark tries to speak. Elena, wait, she cuts him off. Your promotion is revoked. Your company apartment must be vacated by tomorrow. And the affair you hid? Everyone here knows now. She projects the emails, his parents encouraging him to leave her for Sophia. The room turns on the family in seconds. Sophia dumps Mark that same night. Text him, you're worthless without your daddy's job. Suddenly homeless, jobless, and broke, Mark watches his perfect future vanish. Elena doesn't gloat. She moves into the penthouse she quietly owned all along, hires help for Lily, and starts fixing the company her grandfather built. Ethical audits, employee raises, new charity programs for single mothers. The media explodes. Secret billionaire heiress takes back empire after husband's cruel divorce. Elena gives one interview, calm and poised. I hid my worth to find real love. I learned some people only love what they think they can take. In the quiet moments, healing isn't easy. Some nights, she still cries over the betrayal. But then a kind GDI engineer named Alex stays late to help her review reports. He knew her years ago as the quiet assistant who always shared her lunch. He never cared about money. He brings coffee exactly how she likes it, plays peekaboo with Lily, listens when the pain spills out. Slowly, carefully, something new grows, trust, laughter, the kind of love that sees the real her. Mark shows up months later, disheveled, begging on her doorstep. I made a mistake. I love you. Elena looks at him without anger, just pity. You never loved me. You love the idea of escaping me. Go fix yourself, Mark. For your own sake. She hands him an envelope. Reasonable child support for Lily. Nothing more. And closes the door to the company gala. Mark crashes drunk, shouting accusations. Elena, stunning in an evening gown, Lily on her hip, addresses the crowd calmly. I gave him everything. He chose greed. Today, I choose my daughter and my future. The room erupts in applause as security escorts him out. Richard and Victoria face charges. After months in court, they send a letter, actual apologies this time. Elena reduces the sentence, but keeps the repayment plan. Justice, not vengeance, but on a quiet evening. Elena marries Alex in a small garden ceremony. Lily toddles down the aisle, scattering petals. No extravagance, just real joy. Later, watching fireworks with her new family, Elena whispers to the stars, we turned heartbreak into strength. She kisses Lily's head, squeezes Alex's hand, and finally feels whole. Ladies, never forget your worth. The ones who betray you, they lose the best thing they ever had. And the love that stays, the love that sees you, that's the one that heals everything. The emergency board meeting is called for 9 a.m. sharp. Elena walks in wearing a tailored black suit that fits her post-pregnancy body perfectly, Lily's safely with a nanny back home. She places her folder on the table, looks around the room filled with executives who have never seen her before, and speaks with quiet authority. Good morning. My name is Elena Thompson. I own 60% of Global Tech Innovations. She slides the legal documents forward. Silence turns to chaos. Richard stands up so fast his chair rolls back. This is impossible. Victoria's hand flies to her chest. Mark, there is a department manager, goes ghost white. Elena doesn't shout. She simply opens her laptop and projects the evidence onto the screen. Years of embezzled funds, fake invoices, luxury purchases traced directly to Richard and Victoria's personal accounts. Myung-gun, you are both terminated immediately, she says. Repay every dollar or face criminal charges. Richard tries to bluff, talks about family and loyalty. Elena's voice stays calm. You encouraged your son to leave his pregnant wife for a woman you thought had money. Loyalty clearly isn't your strength. Mark finally finds his voice. Elena, please, let's talk privately. She looks at him for the first time. There's nothing left to say. Your promotion is canceled. The company apartment you live in must be vacated by tomorrow. She clicks to the next slide. Screenshots of emails from Victoria pushing Mark towards Sophia, calling Elena a mistake that needed fixing. The entire board turns against the family in seconds. That same evening, Sophia sends Mark a single text. Don't contact me again. You're nothing without your parents' connections. She blocks him before he can reply. By morning, Mark is packing boxes alone in the apartment he thought was his future. Elena moves fast. She relocates to the penthouse she has owned quietly for years, high above the city with views that used to feel lonely but now feel like freedom. She hires a trusted team to care for Lily and dives into the company. Corrupt contracts are canceled. Honest employees get long overdue raises, and she launches a foundation supporting single mothers. The press goes wild. Headlines scream, Secret Heiress reclaims empire after heartless divorce. Elena gives one calm interview. I hid my wealth hoping for real love. I learned the hard way that some people only value what they can take. Healing takes time. Some nights the betrayal still stings. Memories of Mark's smile turning cold flash behind her eyes. But then Alex stays late to help review quarterly numbers. He's the engineer who always noticed her kindness years ago when she was just the quiet temp bringing extra cookies to meetings. He never asked about money, only ever asked how her day was. Now he brings her favorite tea without being asked, makes funny faces at Lily until she giggles uncontrollably, and listens when Elena finally talks about the pain. Trust builds slowly, shared dinners, long walks pushing the stroller, quiet conversations about dreams and loss. Alex understands heartbreak. He lost his wife years earlier. With him, Elena feels seen for who she truly is. Months later, Mark appears at the penthouse gate, unshaven, eyes desperate. Security calls up. Elena goes down alone. I was wrong, he says, voice breaking. I miss you. I love you. She studies him for a long moment. You never loved me, Mark. You love the idea of trading up. Fix yourself, not for me, but for you. She hands him an envelope containing Fairchild support for Lily. Nothing more. She turns and walks away without looking back. The annual company gala arrives. Elena arrives in an emerald gown, Lily asleep upstairs with the nanny. Halfway through the evening, Mark stumbles in, clearly drunk, shouting her name. You ruined my life. Guests freeze. Elena steps forward, voice steady and clear. No, your choices did. I gave you loyalty, love, and a family. You threw it away for greed. Tonight, I celebrate the future I'm building for my daughter. Applause starts small, then thunders through the room. Security escorts Mark out gently but firmly. Richard and Victoria's trial drags on. When they finally send handwritten apologies from jail, admitting every cruel word and action, Elena reduces the charges on condition of full repayment and public accountability. Justice served, not revenge taken on a warm spring afternoon. Elena marries Alex in a private garden ceremony. Only close friends, soft music, Lily toddling down the path dropping flower petals and laughing. No extravagance, just promises spoken from the heart. That night, watching Lily sleep between them, Alex whispers, "You turn the worst pain into the most beautiful strength." Elena smiles, tears of joy in her eyes for the first time in years. She kisses her daughter's forehead, squeezes her husband's hand, and knows deep in her soul that real love, the kind that stays, the kind that sees you, always wins in the end. Remember, queens, never settle for someone who can't see your worth. The ones who walk away lose the greatest treasure they ever had. And a love that chooses you every single day, that's the one that makes you unbreakable.